Good journey, good vibrations. This is a very good question. In one of my previous videos from the other day, I said that there's no such thing as karma. And my guy asked a very good question. Now, your second observation, this is your second observation slash comment. The first one I couldn't find. So if you could repost that one, I would greatly appreciate it. He said, it applies to my karma stance. Why do you say good vibrations? I say good vibrations simply because what I'm indicating is that we all should be increasing our vibration to the far right side, the higher echelon of thought and the higher echelon of actions to how we live our lives and how we think. You see, things that are on a lower vibration are more stagnant. They're more still. They're closer to what we would call death. But there's no such thing as death, of course, because vibration occurs at all time. Nothing is dead. Nothing stops vibrating. But the higher the vibration, the more luminous a thing is, the more vibrant a thing is, the more akin to the higher thought process and higher manifestations things are. You say that I would say that akin to a good behavior equals personal good karma for one's thoughts and actions that may lead on to that good journey. Not necessarily. How many good women have high vibration but are being abused by a man? How many good men have higher vibrational and they're good but they are being abused by a woman? How many children have great personalities of high vibration but they're being molested? How many people have great vibrations but it seems that no matter how hard they work, no matter how good they are on their job, they get passed over, their finances never increase? Having a good vibration, a good thought, doesn't necessarily lead to you having a good journey in our material world. But what it does, and even in our lifestyle, but in most instances, if you are on a good vibration, and I use money a lot because it's easy to measure, but if you're on a good vibrational path of money, then if you make $40,000 and another $40,000 a year, and the person next to you makes $80,000 a year, a person with low vibrational money ideas will have less money at the end of the month than a person who has 40,000 but have good vibrational ideas concerning money. Basically, meaning one budgets their money better than the other, which would be on a higher vibrational plane of money management. The same with relationships. If you can have a couple that is living in a trailer, but they have high vibrations towards the commitment and the love and the intimacy and the sex and everything else in their lives, and they are much happier than couples who they're both are six-figure earners. They got all the houses, boats, and all this sorts of thing, travel and whatnot. But in their intimacy, their sex, their compatibility, all those things are suffering because they're on a low vibration as far as their relationship is concerned. So when I say good vibrations and good journey, it can lead to you having a better life, but it's all mental. It's all a mental manifestation that you create. And yes, you will have struggles, but even in the struggles, higher vibrational people seem to be able to enjoy the process of the struggle more so than people with lower vibrational thought processes. So it doesn't always mean you're going to have this great life. So there is no karma involved here. You could have grown up in a very wealthy family, but and not done anything negative towards anyone, but you could be living a lifestyle with people who are all negative and who have low vibrational thoughts, and your life could be hell. Or you could be living you could grow up in a poor family, but there's a bunch of love in that house. And so you are growing up having a better life than the rich kid. Or you could grow up poor and have a lot of violence and all kinds of things going on in your household. And although you're a good person and you've been thinking on a high vibration, you love your parents, but there's so much stress that your life seems like it's tragic. So it doesn't necessarily facilitate a good journey. There's no karma involved. You could have not done anything. And then on the flip side of that, which we know is true, you could have been doing so much dirt in your life and never pay for it. You could have been molesting people, cheating people, doing all these things throughout your life on a low vibrational mindset, and you appear to have this great life. You get opportunities that other people don't get. You are financially well off. You get the good looking man or the good looking woman. you live a longer life, you don't get into car wrecks or have tragic accidents, you never get cancer, none of these things ever happen to you, but you've been doing every damn dirty thing there is, and you live your whole life and you die in the wealth of your life with admiration and all this sort of thing. Look at the slave owners. We today would say that they were low vibrational as far as their thought process on the worth of humanity, but yet many of them died wealthy and happy because they were living in a system that said that that was okay, and they didn't have a problem. So just because you do some dirt don't mean you're going to get some dirt later. Just because you do great, you live a pure life, doesn't mean that you're not going to get done dirty. But your personal mental state determines a lot more how you feel about yourself and what you allow around you. So when I say good journey, I can't even remember my own thing now. Good journey, good vibration. It is your personal mindset in how you approach everything in life, no matter what comes your way, right? And then you ask the question, so does having a good vibration lead you down that path? Mentally, it does. Spiritually, it does. Emotionally, it does. And when you do face things, you will handle it differently than other people. There are some people, let me tell you a time frame when I had a low vibrational thought. I had just moved back to Florida, taking care of my father-in-law, wife, kids, 2 kids, one on the way, $27 in my bank account after a couple of months because I couldn't find opportunities. And I had the low vibrational thought of robbing this man, this guy who owned a convenience store. I wanted to rob him because I was desperate to feed my family. And for a moment, I had a low vibrational thought. And I felt like crap for having that thought. I was this close to actually committing the crime. It was talking to my brother. It was thinking about my kids growing up without me or visiting me in some jail. That made me say, no, I'm not going to do that. And then I started thinking, what can I do? What can I do? How can I make a change? What can happen? And I decided to go to school, and what I didn't know is that I was going to get grants, and I got loans, and my GI Bill kicked in quickly because the young lady who was working at the school, she had a way of getting shit done quick. I mean, like, applied for school on Thursday, was in class on Friday, got my first check on Tuesday. So she was quick with it. Because I changed my thought process, all those things were waiting there. They were there, present the whole time. I just couldn't see it because my vibrational thought was low. My vibrational thought was doing the wrong thing, taking from someone, right? So I had that momentary lapse of judgment, but because I then increased my vibration, I hit on a path that led me to becoming an IT guy and 6 figures and all that kind of stuff. And there are many observations of my life where I can point out the exact same thing, where I had a low vibration, I thought about it, I did it, and it didn't work out. And there are other times where I had a low vibration, I did it, everything worked out great. There are, but then I emotionally and mentally paid for those low vibrational things, and I physically paid for some of those low vibrational things. But it was just cause and effect that was paying for it. There was some dirty shit that I did that I never had to pay for, that never came around. My military life is not clean at all, and I've never had to pay for it in any form or fashion. And then there are some high vibrational thought processes that I've had. It didn't work out the way I wanted it to, but it happened. I learned some stuff. I moved on. I went to the next high vibrational thought. So that's why I say there is no karma. There is only cause and effect. And my cause and effect is interacting with everyone else's cause and effect, which delivers my result. And whoever has the strongest will, their results, they're going to get more of the results that they're looking for. So it has nothing to do with karma. I hope that explains it. Anyway, y'all have a great day. And always remember, you have to free yourself to be yourself, because your greatness is non-negotiable. Good journey. A good vibrations.